Welcome back. All right, so 6 minutes from a live stream for patrons and members. I do need to do a news video, though, before that, because once that live stream's done, then we're to the 10 games tonight, and there may be a trade happening between now and when the games start tonight. So Orlov and Hathaway are both being held out of the Capitals lineup tonight against the Ducks for trade-related reasons. I think, this tells you we might be looking at a soft sell out of Washington. They're not that far out of the playoffs, but both players are pending UFAs. There have been reports that extension talks between Orlov and the Capitals were not going well, and so apparently they're headed to Boston, at least Hathaway. Elliot Friedman saying he's hearing Hathaway's going to Boston, but I also saw a report that Orlov is being tied to Boston, so it's possible this will be a big trade, Orlov and Hathaway both going to Boston. As soon as this trade happens, should it happen, I will of course do a trade video on that and try to get that posted as quickly as possible. Now, other news from today, Montreal acquiring Chris Tierney on waivers. And if you're wondering why would they do that? Well, they've put Wideman on the IR in order to accommodate his addition to the roster. Plus, Armia is now listed as day-to-day, and Doc isn't going to play tomorrow. So they're just short on forwards, and Tierney can fill in on the fourth line, and he can play a little bit. So Montreal just needed somebody. Now, also on waivers today is Chris Driedger. Now, for Seattle, Martin Jones has a really good record, and Grubauer's had a bounce-back season. And neither of them have been great, but they've both been good. They both have trade value. Driedger does not. Driedger's coming back off of a major injury, and he has a $3.5 million cap hit that extends into next season. So if Driedger's ready to play, you send him down to Coachella Valley to play. It's along the same lines as Vegas sending Brossoit down because Hill ends up winning that job, right? So Driedger, the bet if you're Seattle is that he'll pass through waivers, and he should, because again, that $3.5 million cap hit for a goalie who hasn't played at all this year due to injury. There's a lot of risk there in picking that up. So we'll see what happens with Driedger and with Seattle, and I mean, if somebody picks him up, that gives Seattle all that much more cap space, and it solves the goaltending conundrum that they have currently. Because, honestly, I would lean towards Driedger probably a little bit ahead of Jones, but yeah, Jones's record has been very good this year, so we'll see if Driedger clears. I'm thinking he probably does. Jacob Chychrun. So, apparently there's rumblings from agents and some players that they're not happy with the fact he's not playing. It's going to get worse. Apparently he won't play at all until either he's traded or until the deadline. So the deadline's March 3rd. He hasn't played since February 10th. That's a long time in between games. That is a very long time in between games. I feel bad for Chychrun because it's not like he did anything wrong. I said before they started sitting him, the way that he plays the game, he could get hurt. But I didn't anticipate them sitting him for almost a month. That's not at all what I was insinuating. Just if you're going to trade the guy, maybe make sure he's not gonna get himself injured out there. But at any rate, the Chychrun stalemate continues. And if Boston does go in and get Orlov and Hathaway, that's one less buyer on Chychrun, right? The one thing with Orlov and Hathaway, as I said, those would be pure rentals for Boston as well. And then Boston's been listed as linked towards Gavrikov. I guess that deal would have fallen through too. So for Detroit, Raymond may return Saturday. Derek Lalonde saying that he could return on Saturday. Berggren is going to be out for tonight's game. Zadina and Vrana are in against the New York Rangers. So for Detroit, we'll see how things go for them tonight against New York. Keeping in mind it was an H2 loss their last time out. You got to keep that in mind and go out and go for that measure of revenge against the team that embarrassed you that badly. Anyways, by the time this goes live, odds are the trade's probably going to have already happened. And we'll see if I'm wearing Caps or if I'm wearing Bruins once the details come out. But I will finish and upload this anyways. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.